Kanye West is what happens when Negroes don't read.
Those were Russians.
They were not Russians. I don't go with the Russians.
That
Come on,
group
give me a-
was Russian.
I have nothing to do with the Russians. The
Well,
groups-
apparently you did.
No.
Maybe you didn't know it, but you
please.
did.
When you're talking like this, I don't want to have anything to do with you.
We sum it up in a word, okay? There it is. This is the gift that he decided to give the American people.
And so Kanye West is what happens when Negroes don't read.
Listen, black folks are about to trade Kanye West in the racial draft, okay?
I have an adopted minority son, yes I do, who happens to have Down syndrome, and he experiences bigotry every single day in a myriad of ways, not just because of his skin color, but also because of his disability.
And America
let's
has
focus on
never
what we've
been
done
great.
well.
And it's not
let's
great
focus
because
on
people
what,
like you come on and
let's
lie for
focus
the
on,
president of the United States and then bring out your son as an example. Like you ought to be completely ashamed of yourself.
What America.
What do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh my goodness, poor white people, please. Oh my, stop it, Carl.
I grew up in a household where my best friend's mom couldn't play with a kid across the street because they were kikes. And you want to tell me after this country learned that a white person could own a black person in the 19th century, that Chinese people 110 years ago were slant eyes?
And Barbara, we saw the president signing a campaign hat, a red hat, his Make America Great Again hat. Is that unusual to see the president doing that on base? Does this run the risk of the president, facing some accusations that he's turning some of this into a campaign stop? What do you think?
Well, when you see people like Ted Cruz getting chased out of restaurants by a mob,
You're not going to use the mob word here.
It's totally a mob. It is without a doubt.
Matt.
There's no other word for it. It's a go
Matt,
watch. Put up the video.
mob.
of Ted-
Stop.
Put up the video.
A mob is what we saw in Charlottesville, Virginia. Let
Doing
me move past the M word.
This president has radicalized so many more people than ISIS ever did. I mean, the way he talks, the way he talks, the way.
Well, Trey Gowdy ought to have his ass kicked.
Here, let me show you what I would have done.
You don't have to.
Let me show you. I want to show you something. Let me show you what I would have done. Okay, come here. Come here,
Go ahead.
Don. Come here, Don.
Poor Don. You're petty and small.
Not petty and small. That's real, brother. That's real. And
Real
it
petty and
shows you
small.
this is not.
There is something to be said about that the folks calling for civility might need to check their privilege.
Up on New Year's.
Yes,
then
you
what
can.
night can you?
We can enjoy ourselves more than tonight.
Thank you very much.
May I ask one other question, Mr. President? If I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President.
That's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other
Peter,
question.
let's go.
No, it's not mob behavior.
Yes, it
It's
is.
people who are upset and they're angry with the way the country is going and the policies that these people. Will you let me finish, Matt, please, before you jump in? Okay. I'm making a point. I can't make it if you keep interrupting me.
No, but you're making a point. Are you the moderator or the host, or are you arguing a liberal policy?
I'm the.
My balls are bigger than your balls. Do
Probably. Oh.
you want to dance, or should we talk to some people?
I didn't hear.
Well, I will be clear in saying that everybody in Washington, D.C. knows if you don't want to be honest about it, that's on you. But if you have a security clearance and you keep it, you get more money to have it.
We're done. Get out.
Phil.
It's not your show, so I'm
25 years
staying
in
right
the
here.
service, and this is
Don't
the
be
shit
so
I get.
defensive about
Get
this.
out.
Don't be so defensive about this. Your voice is still here. You can still do whatever you want.
Just quickly, you look through the trash there. What did you find? Ricochet.
Yes, we did. Well, we came here expecting this office to be empty. But in fact, all day here, we've been here throughout the course of the day. People have been going in and out. We went to the trash can to see what we could find because we saw people dumping rubbish there. New computers are being delivered here, and they're throwing away the rubbish.
I'm definitely earning the nickname Kush K, that's for sure. Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Everybody knows what Kush is. So, listen, I came prepared, this year. I thought maybe I would bring a gas mask with me so I wouldn't, get that contact high. But look at what's on the other end of the gas mask. Yes, a bong.
This is heartbreaking, though. It's heartbreaking. The hope has been that the antibodies would kick in, that this sort of infestation of hatred and division would draw a response from the American people, really in both parties, to say no and no more. That does not seem to be happening tonight. It's not a blue wave, but it's still a blue war.
So we have to stop demonizing people and realize the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right. And we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. There is no ban on, they had the Muslim ban. There is no white guy ban. So what do we do about that?
The president sent his White House press secretary out there today to basically poop on the people from the press secretary podium and not only threaten, like they didn't just make a threat, it was a promise.
It says it right in the name, Antifa, anti-fascism, which is what they were there fighting. Listen, there's, no organization is perfect. There was some violence. No one condones the violence, but there were different reasons for Antifa and for these neo-Nazis to be there. One, racist fascists. The other group fighting racist fascists. There is a distinction there.
Why are you subjecting me to this?
Sorry, I just heard a voice in my ear.
I did too. Whose voice was that? Was that you, Elizabeth? No. Okay. Let's. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Keep going, Walter. Go ahead.
You were posting and reposting almost word for word the information that was coming out of this Internet Research Agency in St. Petersburg.
No.
You don't believe that?
Nope. It's bullshit. Thank you.
Well, there you go.